guys, Samantha from Summer Tutorials here, and today I'm going to be doing another easy UV resin tutorial. So this video is sponsored and I'll be showing off this brand of UV resin. You can use any brand you want, but I'll be using this one, and I'll also be using the coloured version of it, specifically the black. So you're going to want to choose a mould. Any mould will work, but I'm going to be using my donut mould today. And you're also going to want some cling wrap. Now we're not going to be using the cling wrap right this second, but you want to just cut a square of the cling wrap and then also just punch a small hole. And this is specifically only if you're using a donut. If you're not using a donut, don't worry about the hole in the middle. And then I'm just going to roughly get that in the shape that I'm going to want for later. Then pop that to the side and we will get back to that in just a moment. Grab the clear UV resin and just pop a generous amount in the base of your mold. Then just use a skewer just to kind of move it around a little bit. You don't want to be worrying about that too much. I just want it to basically be covering the base of the mold. But we are going to be doing more layers afterwards, so anything that gets missed we can easily fix later on. I am just going to make sure that it's up against the edges because this is going to be where our pattern is. So if you don't cover it all the way to the edges, the cling wrap most of the time pushes it up all the way to the edges, but I just want to be safe because if it doesn't, then there's going to be breaks in our pattern, and you'll see why in a little bit. So I'm just kind of helping that move along, and I'll do the same in the middle. Okay, then we're going to bring over our cling wrap from before. It's already been somewhat squirreled. And so all we need to do is pop that into place. Okay. And just be careful because you don't want resin spilling up over the edge of your mold. So just go nice and slow with this bit. And try to get rid of air bubbles if you happen to see any. And you can go in and scruff it up a bit once it's in there. And the reason we cut a hole over here is so that we can push air bubbles out if we need to. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just going in and squishing out any really large air bubbles. I'll also simultaneously make sure that the resin's going all the way up to the edges. Now bear in mind that the cling wrap will most likely stick to the resin afterwards. But that's okay. That's why we're using cling wrap and not foil, because it's completely translucent. So just continue fussing until you're happy with the result. When you're happy with the squiffle pattern, pop it into the UV light for about a minute just to set it. Okay, then once it's out, it should be nice and hard. And then we're going to lift our plastic wrap, and as I said, it will stick. So we're just going to try to lift it evenly without it getting out of the mold. If it rips a bit, that's fine. It's okay if there's a little plastic wrap left. Okay, and then make sure to get this middle bit as well. And I might actually need some help getting that up. There we go. Okay, but because we're using plastic wrap, if a little bit of it is left in the mold, that's not a big issue because you won't ultimately be able to see it. But we do want to get rid of as much as we can without it lifting up and out of the mold. And there we go. I think I got pretty much all of it. So now you're going to want to grab some sort of colour changing powder or colour changing flakes in this case. And This one I sell on my Etsy shop, but again, any colour changing flakes or powders will work. And just pop it in there, and it does make a bit of a mess, these flakes, but they're well worth it. And just brush that roughly around. And don't worry, all this mess we can easily clean up later on. Just make sure you get enough in there. And make sure to get the sides of the mould as well. Then once you've got quite a bit in there, take your brush and really burnish it around to get it on and in all of those gaps. And there you can see how that looks. And that's really highlighting the effect. I'm just going to add a little more because I feel like I need some around these edges. But just keep going until you feel like you've highlighted the texture enough. Make sure you get the edges as well so that we completely fill in the pattern before we move on to the next step. Okay, so I'm happy with that, and I have also cleared up the tile and I have blown away the excess. So now you're going to grab some tape, so just bear with me while I do that. Okay. All you'll do is just stick that over the surfaces that you don't really want to have all that foil, and just stick it down. And this will clean it up and make it easier for you to stay nice and clean. There we go. There we go. And I also do that on the tile with any extra bits I have, just to clean it up because that stuff's quite difficult to clean up. And there we go. Now we are going to go in with our black coloured UV resin. And you want to cover the entire thing. And be quite thorough with this, because this is what's going to reveal the colour. Now you're not going to be able to see that just yet. We'll only be able to see it once it's demoulded. But you want to be very thorough with this so you have a nice clean black finish. Okay. Then once you've got a decent amount in there, go in and cover all your edges with that black. Okay. And you are going to have air bubbles, so what you can do is you can run a torch over the surface, or you can even run a heat gun or hair dryer very quickly over the surface if you don't want to use a torch, or you can pop them with a needle, but you don't want to cure it in the UV light until you've gotten rid of all those bubbles. And just be nice and thorough about covering that surface, and don't forget to do the middle bit if you are using a donut mold. Okay, then after you've popped it into the UV light and set it, just finish it off with a layer of clear resin just to smooth it off, and then pop it in for a good 5 minutes just to get it all to set, and then we can demold it. Okay, then once it's out we can just quickly unmold it. And now my mold does have a matte finish. It is completely smooth, there's no bumps or anything like that, but it isn't going to appear shiny, which we'll fix later on. The back, you can see we have all these little divots and things like that. So all you're going to do is you're going to get some sandpaper, and you're just going to give it a sand. I wouldn't necessarily sand the front if I were you, because you'll end up taking off some of the pattern, but just sand away all these little bits and bobs so that you have a nice smooth finish, and then we can get it to a shiny finish. Okay, and here it is after I've given it a sand. So it's completely smooth, no more bumps on the inside or outside, and I did give the top a light sand with my 1200 wet dry sandpaper. Okay, then I've got just some translucent polymer clay, just to balance this on top of. You can use Tic Tac, anything you want, but I just want to elevate it up off of the tile. Then I'm going to bring over our UV resin again, and we're going to give it our final gloss finish. Just add a small amount, you don't need much. Bring over a UV brush and just brush it over the surface. And if you used a small amount of resin, you should be able to just give it this beautiful glossy dough without any spills. This will clear everything up and you can see how beautiful that looks. So just make sure that you spend time giving it a nice even coat, getting in all those areas. And don't worry about the back, that I'm going to also finish up, but we will worry about that afterwards. It is the front that is our priority right this moment. And once you've brushed it over and let it self-level, because you don't want to have brush stroke marks, then you put it in the UV light for another 5 minutes or so, just to make sure that it is nice and hard before moving on. But you can see how beautiful that effect is. Okay, and here it is out of the UV lamp. And you can see how beautifully that has cleared up the image. Then on the back, I also, once it was completely cured on the front, added a layer of resin just to smooth out. Now the reason we did the sanding rather than just going immediately with the gloss resin finish is just so that this can be nice and completely smooth, and the same on the front. It's just going to clean it all up and make it the best that it can be. But yeah, this is a really fun technique where it kind of looks like sari ribbon. Keep in mind that the look is going to be different based on whether you use black or white as a backing. Here is a test piece that I did that can show you the example. I used the exact same colour of powder, but if you have a look at the backing here, I had a black side and a white side, and you can see there how that has completely changed it. So you can play around with it and have almost like double-sided pieces if you wanted to. That is definitely something you could play with. Also, different colour powders are going to give you a different result. Play around with different moulds. But yeah, have fun. It's a lot of fun to create, very effective, and one of my new favourite resin techniques. So, if you enjoyed this tutorial, please do let me know in the comments below. And if you would like to see more resin tutorials, please do let me know in the comments. As this I think is like my second one recently. I want to get more into UV resin, so let me know if you're interested in that or if I should just stick to polymer clay. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. And if you would like to support the channel, please do consider becoming a patron. There is a link in the description below. There is also a join button to join the membership on YouTube. They're both basically the same, so whichever one you prefer if you are considering that. Also, leaving a like and subscribing is another great way to help the channel and is greatly appreciated. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.